The Thunder finally made a trade, and it was for Daniel Theis. Now, this isn't the guy everyone was wanting to go after and get. Was even linked to the Thunder. No one even knew he was in the league still. However, this is still a good trade as it provides a backup to Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. Allows some guys to play at their natural position, potentially dub at the 3 with a double big lineup. You could even put Jay Will at the 4, which I think he performs better at anyways. There's a bunch of opportunities that go around for Daniel Theis. He's not getting a ton of action this year in New Orleans, around 16 to 18 minutes a game usually. Doesn't ever start coming off the bench. Still, he's a solid backup center who can give you a solid 8 minutes to give your backup bigs rest. And if another injury does happen, let's say Chet goes down again or Hartenstein goes down again, God forbid, it gives you someone there that serves as a backup in case it does happen. Worst case scenario, all right? That way the Thunder aren't left without any size come playoff time. Still, this could also serve as a precursor into another trade, as there's some peculiar things going on now because of this trade of this newest edition. We're going to break all that down here on Thunder Digest. Before we get into all that, though, if you don't know who I am, I'm Bryson Akins, host of Thunder Digest here, coming up on a year here of the channel. Just before we get into all of this, though, right quick, just want to recognize we're at 2,694 subscribers. You guys have been killing it lately because of the trade deadline. Everything has been happening with streams and whatnot, so it's been great seeing us grow here, trying to reach 3,000 by as soon as possible. Pretty much end of February is my goal. I know we can hit that. So if you guys enjoyed the content that we're putting out here, or if you're new and you saw this and you're like, hey, this is pretty good what he's doing, best way to support is just by hitting that subscribe button. Goes a long way. With that out of the way, let's talk about the trade that happened here today. And it was kind of weird. I got it right as soon as I was getting into class, or else I would have made a video sooner about it. But Sam Presti has a knack for making these kind of, I don't even want to say unexpected, because it definitely was unexpected. No one was predicting that Daniel Theis was going to the Thunder, all right? No one predicted he was even going to be traded here. He could still be a buyout candidate, okay? Even then, I don't think that's possible, because then you pretty much traded away, cash compensation just to get a second-round pick at that point, which then makes it a pointless trade. I do see a world where Daniel Theis stays on the team, just serves as, hey, potential backup here in case something does happen. That's kind of what Bismack Biyombo and Mike Muscala did last season with the Thunder. So that's probably the world we're living in right here at the moment. But here was the trade that made it happen right here. Boom, New Orleans Pelicans are trading center Daniel Theis and draft compensation to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Sources tell ESPN. Like I mentioned, the draft compensation was a second-round pick, the, I think, worst of Orlando and someone else. I can't remember who the other team was, but you can see right there, all right, we got another draft pick. I feel like Sam Presti just loves any opportunity he has to get second-round picks at this point, and they have turned into valuable picks. As we saw, we turned in like 3 second-round picks last season into Dylan Jones, and then also some more into Ajay Mitchell. So it definitely does work out getting these second-round picks. They can turn into some diamonds in the rough, or you can use them to trade up and really get someone that can make an instant impact for your team, like Ajay Mitchell did. So it's good getting all these picks here, all right? It did help out New Orleans as well. Right here, Bobby Marks tweeted out, New Orleans was $1.4 million above the luxury tax prior to the trade. They are now below. Theis is on an expiring $2.1 million contract. Like I said, he's not making much at all. It was one of those trades where the Thunder didn't have to trade any players to get Theis in return, all right? That's what kind of trade this was. So it's a good trade in my opinion. All right, the fact that we got a second-round draft pick in return, we got a backup center who is more of a traditional center when you look at how he plays. Still, it just helps to have that size just in case we get to the worst-case scenario where, oh my goodness, come playoff time, someone's injured. Oh my gosh, Isaiah Hartenstein's now in foul trouble. We have to have a big man in there to help us with rebounds. That's where Daniel Theis comes into play. Even if he gets bought out, I still see a world where the Thunder end up bringing on Brandon Carlson back on a minimum deal. Also, another thing is Ajay Mitchell is still going to be converted to a standard contract. And sorry if you hear those sirens out there. That's what it's like living in Gotham City pretty much here in Boston. It's one of those things looking at it. It's interesting. All right. Very, very interesting because Ajay Mitchell, like I mentioned, still needs to put on a standard contract. He's still on the two-way. Now there's not a single roster space left on the Thunder. So it could be one of those scenarios. Oh, a buyout happens. Daniel Theis is no longer on the team. Ajay Mitchell gets picked up then. But there's another world where I see Daniel Theis staying on the team, and you still have Brandon Carlson and Ajay Mitchell on standard deals. Now, this is where we get a little funky here, but just hear me out with this trade. Colin Sexton to the Thunder. This has been talked about by quite a few people in the Thunder community, whether it's fans, other media members as well, where this could be a potential trade. And it's not necessarily, I think the Jazz are looking to trade Colin Sexton if they can get good value in return. And I think this is good value for the Jazz. All right. I think, they would take this deal. Because Danny Ainge is a crook, he's going to try to get as many assets as he can for any of his guys. We have the second round picks to kind of, give away at this point. We have too many, in my opinion. Dylan Jones, I don't think he's going to turn into something with the Thunder. I would have loved him to. I really loved the pick when we originally took him, but he's just not playing how we expected him to at the NBA level. Kenrich Williams, a veteran that, like I said, come playoff time, I don't see him getting much time at all, if any. And Ousmane Dieng, same kind of situation. Great player. He has a ton of upside. He's never going to realize that on Oklahoma City, though. This brings in Colin Sexton to serve as a backup point guard, all right, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, as they really need someone, okay? And he's on a 2-year deal right now. So after those 2 years expire, it immediately, that's when a Hartenstein's team option is in play where we can accept it or not. And that's also when Chet and Dub extensions was actually going to play there salary-wise. So it's a perfect deal when you look at how the contract lines up and the timeline. Also, if you look at the bottom there, it allows the team under the allowable incoming amount by $3.5 million right there. In my mind, that's the perfect amount to sign Brandon Carlson to a league minimum, along with Ajay Mitchell to be put on a standard contract right there. So you have 15 roster spaces. You have, Brandon Carlson there, have Ajay Mitchell, who I don't think is going to play at all for the rest of the season. It'd be nice to have him back, but I just don't think that's a, possibility with his injury, with his surgery. 12 weeks out puts him with like 2 weeks left in the season, and that's just a reevaluation, not a return to play, timetable. That's just, okay, he's going to be reevaluated, and then we'll give you an update. Okay, he's back in, let's say, 4 weeks. 4 weeks would put us after the first round of the playoffs. I don't trust a rookie point guard in the playoffs, especially in the second round is when he's getting his first time back. So that's one of my things is why the Thunder could benefit from a backup point guard. There's still backup point guards that are potentially going to be bought out as well that they could go after. But also, I want to go into one more little thing here, talking about Daniel Theis' stats, all right? Here are his stats right here. Like I said, it's nothing that's jumping out to you on the sheet or anything. Like, it's nothing eye-opening. 4 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists in like 16 minutes of play here. He's in his 7th season, a little bit older guy, veteran presence right there, 32 years old. He was on a ton of Boston Celtics playoff runs as well. He's 6'8", a little bit undersized size-wise, but he does play like a traditional center. The fact he's getting 4 rebounds a game as a bench player really stands out to me right there. 245 pounds. He's also going to, bang down low whenever he can. And just a fun little stat for you guys. He's now the second German-born center on the team right next to Isaiah Hartenstein. 47% from the field. Like I said, nothing eye-opening, but solid numbers all around to where it gets to the point like, look, all right, if the, worst comes to worst, all right, worst comes to shove here, we need a center out there because Hartenstein's in foul trouble and Chet got hurt again, or opposite situation there. Hartenstein got hurt and Chet's in foul trouble. We just need a big body down there to help us with boards. That's all we need, boards and pick and roll situations right here to get our guys open downhill. Daniel Theis serves that role very well. All right. I think it is a great pickup by the Thunder. People are thinking like it's some, pointless random pickup. It's not pointless. Okay. Because like I said, I have a suspicion that another trade is going to be coming for the Thunder here because we need a roster space open to at least sign Ajay Mitchell to a standard deal before his 2-way is up. That's why I think something's still coming, and this was a great pickup by the Thunder, and they got draft capital as well in return. That's all I got for this video. Let me know what you guys personally think about the Daniel Theis acquisition here. As like I said, I think it's a great pickup, and honestly is going to serve the Thunder very well. Not in the long run, but in case an injury does happen, it's a good backup plan to have. That's all I got for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.